Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Maryam.
How are you today, Fatima?
I'm doing good, alhamdulillah. What about you?
I'm doing good, alhamdulillah. So Fatima, today we're going to be listening to another beautiful prophet story. Can you guess what it is? I will be telling you this beautiful story of Prophet Daud alayhi salam.
Yay! I can't wait.
Fatima, do you know anything about Prophet Daud alayhi salam?
Oh, I know that he is the youngest among his siblings, just like me.
You're right, Fatima. Prophet Daud alayhi salam was the youngest son of a noble man, his father, and he was a very kind and gentle son. So when he was a very young boy, his father sent him to travel with the Bani Israel army, and the leader or the commander of that army was a very kind and good king, King Talut. So this story is actually very beautifully described in the Holy Qur'an by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
What surah is it?
This is in Surah Baqarah, and I'll recite the portion for you.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فلما فصل طالوت بالجنود قال إن الله مبتليكم بنهر فمن شرب منه فليس مني ومن لم يطعمه فإنه مني إلا من اغترف غرفة بيده فشربوا منه إلا قليلا منهم فلما جاوزه هو والذين آمنوا معه قالوا لا طاقة لنا اليوم بجالوت وجنوده قال الذين يظنون أنهم ملاقو الله كم من فئة قليلة غلبت فئة كثيرة بإذن الله والله مع الصابرين.
Okay, Fatima, so let me tell you the beautiful story now. Prophet Daud alayhi salam and King Talut and their army, it was a very small army, but they were on a mission
to defeat the mean and evil King Jalut. And I'll tell you more about King Jalut in a little bit. But basically they were walking to their battlefield under the hot sun. It was very hot weather and they were very thirsty and tired. And then they suddenly saw a fresh river. It was very good, clean water. So they saw the river and they obviously were thirsty, so they wanted to drink from it.
I'm sure they were so tired they almost drank the whole river.
You are actually kind of right, Fatima. King Talut was trying to test them to see if they would listen to instructions. So he told them to not take more than a sip from the river. And whoever took more than a sip would have to leave and go home, and they wouldn't be able to fight against King Jalut.
So eventually, almost all of the people in the army ended up drinking more than just a sip of water. And only a few people listened to the instructions of King Talut and only drank one sip from the river. And one of those people was Daud alayhi salam. But the people that didn't listen, they felt so guilty and they were very ashamed, so they ended up going back home, and they knew what they did was wrong.
So then the army got smaller?
Yeah, it got even smaller than before. And even though they were such a small army in size compared to the army of Jalut, they had faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they knew that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was on their side, so anything was possible.
So they continued to the battlefield, and when they finally arrived, they stood in their lines, and then they saw the army of King Jalut, and compared to them it was huge. It was soldiers after soldiers after soldiers. And they saw the size and they got a little bit worried.
And then they decided to seek help with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they recited a beautiful dua.
And Fatima, I know you know this dua. It's in Surah Baqarah, so can you please recite it?
Yeah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولما برزوا لجالوت وجنوده قالوا ربنا قالوا ربنا أفرغ علينا صبرا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
MashaAllah, Fatima, thank you. So the beautiful dua they recited, رَبَّنَا أَفْرِغْ عَلَيْنَا صَبْرًا وَثَبِّتْ أَقْدَامَنَا وَانصُرْنَا عَلَى الْقَوْمِ الْكَافِرِينَ.
They prayed to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, "O Allah, make our steps firm and help us against the people that reject you." So then after they made this dua, suddenly
Then Jalut stepped out, and with every step he took, the earth was trembling and shaking.
I'm so scared.
do you know how big Jalut was, Fatima?
No, I don't, but I'm sure he's really big.
Yeah, he's gigantic. His arms were like tree trunks. His legs were like concrete pillars, and his chest was like a barrel. He was huge, and everybody was so scared of him.
So suddenly a loud voice boomed from the enemy's side.
Was it a monster?
Well, you can say that, but it was actually King Jalut, and he said, "Who will challenge me? Bring me any of your men, I can fight anyone." And then everybody was so scared and nobody wanted to go and fight King Jalut because they knew that they wouldn't win against him.
So then brave Daud alayhi salam stepped out from among them and said, "I will fight you." Daud alayhi salam was a young boy at that time, and he had no military experience.
King Jalut and his army, when they saw the young boy Daud step forward, they were like, "Ha ha ha, is this your best fighter? Oh no, I'm so scared, I can't fight him." But they were obviously just joking and mocking Daud alayhi salam. And on the other hand, Daud alayhi salam, he wasn't laughing. He was very serious, and he was standing there brave, and he had his slingshot, so he picked up his stone and put it on the slingshot and aimed it right to King Jalut's head. And then he shot it, and King Jalut fell to the floor, and Daud alayhi salam went and killed him.
I can't believe Daud alayhi salam killed such a big and strong Jalut.
Yeah, Fatima, and just like you, his army was completely shocked. They were silenced, and they were worried now. If our biggest and most powerful leader is not with us, then how can we fight them? So then they all started to run away and flee from the battlefield. And eventually, all of them were gone, and King Talut and his army won the battle without actually even having to fight. They were victorious.
That was such a beautiful story. I almost got goosebumps.
Oh my God, Fatima, that's right. And this part of the story is also mentioned in the Qur'an, and I'll recite that portion. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فهزموهم بإذن الله وقتل داود جالوت وآتاه الله الملك والحكمة وعلمه مما يشاء ولولا دفع الله الناس بعضهم ببعض لفسدت الأرض ولكن الله ذو فضل على العالمين تلك آيات الله نتلوها عليك بالحق وإنك لمن المرسلين.
So Fatima, that is the end of the story, and can you tell me what lesson you learned from today's story?
Yeah, I learned that even if you look small and you look like you can't do anything, if you have faith in Allah, then you can do everything like Daud did to Jalut.
You're right, Fatima. Daud alayhi salam and King Talut and his army, they all had faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that is how they eventually won the battle. And after that, King Talut married Daud alayhi salam to his daughter, and eventually Daud alayhi salam also became the king and the prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Wow, what a beautiful story.
Yes, and that is the end for today's story. Inshallah, next time I'll tell you another beautiful prophet story.
Yay! We can hear the next story.
Inshallah.
Until then, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi